A lot has been happening. Most recently, we've got the Mexicans rioting in Los Angeles, screaming, "Viva la Mexico," but please, please, don't send us back. You make it make sense. What do you expect when you're dealing with third worlders with the IQ of a goldfish? Anyway, one of the claims the Mexicans like to make to the land is that it was their land first. We came in and stole their land. Well, I got some bad news for the Mexicans. Turns out, according to the Telegraph, Stone Age Europeans were the first to set foot on America. Yes. So you stole our land, bitch. Go back to Mexico. In fact, we were on all of North America. Mexico belongs to us. You know what? Now you don't get shit. You wanted to be greedy. Mexico belongs to America now too. That's right, right? You want to start digging up ancient historical claims to land, you just fucked around and found out. Welcome to America, bitch. The whole continent belongs to us, and you can suck it. Anyway, just getting a little crazy over here. Let's see what this article has to say, huh? They had a discovery that says there were a number of stone tools dating back between 19,000 and 26,000 years, bearing a remarkable similarity to those made in Europe. And look, all right, if your modern Mexican, Latin American, African inventions are anything to make a foundation from, okay, there's no way that 19,000 to 26,000 years ago, you guys were inventing these. So you're probably not even inventing these tools now. What does it say? They were discovered along the northeast coast of the USA. I don't really care. They were on the USA. This land is our land, bitch. The tools dismiss that the Europeans of Christopher Columbus and his crew were the first to discover the New World. Previous discoveries of tools dated back to 15,000 years ago. Would you look at that? And it questioned the claims that Stone Age man managed to migrate to North America. The striking resemblance in the way the primitive American tools were made to European ones dating from the same period now suggests a remarkable migration took place. Okay? So how about all you Chicanos downtown screaming about this was our land and you stole it? How about you pipe down? How about you shut up? How about you listen when a Native American is speaking and learn? Okay, what else? There was fresh analysis of a stone knife unearthed in the U.S. in 1971, which was made of French flint. Bonjour, bitch. What else here? Okay, he thinks that, basically what he thinks is that the ancient Europeans traveled to North America across an Atlantic frozen over by the Ice Age. Now, I'm going to have some disputes with this. I don't know that I really believe their Ice Age theories. I think there was a lost global European civilization around the world that built things like the pyramids in Egypt, in Mexico, in Göbekli Tepe, and that civilization was lost probably because they opened their borders to the poor third worlders who came in and destroyed everything because they don't know how to maintain anything, okay? Just take a look at what happened to the wells that Mr. Beast built for the Africans. Let's go take a look. The water wells that Mr. Beast built in Africa last year are no longer working because the local population does not maintain them. Now, do you think they tried to blame Mr. Beast for this? No, they wouldn't do that. Well, oh, what do you know? 100% they did. Because God forbid the magical African gets held responsible for his own life. God forbid. Okay, what happened? They accused him of abandoning the wells. So not only does he have to build them for the Africans, but he also has to stay around and make sure they keep running. Yeah, folks. Then you wonder why we have a problem with third world hordes. Okay, there was a video that said that the water wells he built in 2023, guys, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, they can't maintain it for 2 years. Okay? The wells had fallen into disrepair. Just listen to that passive language, right? Oh, how could this happen? They just magically fell into disrepair. You know how wells do. And the wells are racist. They only fall into disrepair when they're for blacks. Okay, they've been left unmaintained and essentially abandoned with no support for the community they were intended to serve. I mean, how could you do this, Mr. Beast? How could you build the wells? How could you teach the population how to maintain them? How could you give them the education and instruction and resources they needed? And how could you not do everything for them anyway? It's all your fault. Amazing. Amazing. They also just gave him for bringing clean water to the Africans, and we're like, this is a colonial project. Okay, so what do you want? What do you want? You want to let them die? Is that what you want? Because then we're heartless racists. And frankly, I think people should just stop interfering in it. All you do is get blamed. And all that happens is the black population in Africa explodes. They have no ability to sustain life there because they didn't invent the means to the way that life was created. And then the next thing you know is you got 5 million Africans in Europe. Let's go take a look at the propaganda in Europe, okay? So we in America have been hearing for the last, I want to say at least 20 years, but probably more like 40 to 50 years, black people built this country. It was the slaves who built it. The slaves, even though they were less than 2% of the population, they built everything. Even though they weren't the pioneers that came here and transformed the wilderness and had to fight off the savage Native Americans who were scalping them, raping their kids and their wives, it was the black people who built America. The same black people that you can't seem to get to hold down a job today. They was a working people. Well, guess what? They didn't just build America, it seems. It seems they've also built London. Oh, boy, you didn't know that? London didn't exist before the black people came there and started putting up the towers and Big Ben. That was built by black people. Even though they weren't there, they did it. I'm telling you, and if you question it, you're racist. So you can see how lies like the pyramids were built by blacks start to spread. And you can start to maybe intuit what happened to this ancient global civilization that built these wonders of technology around the world, which we now say, they were all in horse and buggy and they did it through, hard labor and straw or whatever, Now it's probably not what happened. There was probably a Atlantean civilization of blonde-haired, blue-eyed, intelligent, superior beings who built all of these structures that we see. Then they saw a bunch of Africans without wells and were like, hey, why don't you come on in? And then all of a sudden the Africans were like, we built this pyramid. That's right. And, all it takes is a cataclysm, wipe out the technology, wipe out the majority of the people, wipe out the history. Archaeologists come from the modern age. They find pyramids. They go, I wonder who built these. Oh, look at the population that's living here. It must be them. Even though right now they can't even build a straw hut. But they had to have done this. That makes sense. Make it make sense. Anyway, here they go, reminding you, even in London, the most white city in the world, all you have to do is go back and watch some of the old Sherlock Holmes movies with Basil Rathbone. Those are my favorite old movies. Everybody in the movie is white. You're like, wow, London seems like a cool place. And then you go there and you hear, and you just can't get out from the smell, okay? So that's London. I don't know what this shit is. London's pride and joy. We got an interracial lesbian couple. It's not enough to be a lesbian couple. It's not enough to be black, brown, or Asian. Nope, we need an interracial lesbian couple who are the pride and joy of London, scissoring right in London town. And then, of course, we have to have a fat black woman she built the city on her back. She wasn't here 200 years ago, but don't worry, she built it, okay? So this is the white erasure, the white genocide that they call us crazy. This is epic gaslighting on a mass scale. Epic gaslighting on a mass scale. Hey, there's no white genocide going on. And if it is, it's good. Black people are special. Give them everything you got. And it's still not enough. Amazing. Here we go. It's happening everywhere. It's endemic. Britain will soon be minority white. Germany is going to be minority white. France is going to be minority white, okay? And that's a good thing. See, look at the title. Who cares that Britain is on course to be minority white? I'm going to tell you who's going to care. These little Indians here who don't realize that they're creating the exact dysfunction they left because anywhere you go, there you are. And if you don't change your ways to adapt to the new culture, you are going to create exactly what you left behind. Culture comes from the people. It's not like something that just magically grows in a land wherever you are. And what's real funny about this is she'd get stoned for not having a scarf around her head and having a little too much titty showing. But who am I to say the way they should live their life, right? So they want you to know, who cares? Who cares? Look at that. No fucking shame. Look at who wrote it. Look at this. Look at this. Who cares? Who cares that we had to come to your country because you built a superior civilization and we had no roots to prospering in our own country and you let us in and now we're going to destroy. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Just remember this, okay? Remember this when the time comes, because the time will come or we're going to die out and these people are going to cry and you have to post it, give them pamphlets of the articles they wrote, videos of them marching in the street, calling for the death to the white man, saying how this is their land, and say, okay, since you wanted a war, here you go, and you've lost, and this time there's no reentry. And here's the thing, they know how to play the game. This whole system of calling you racist is simply to handicap you from defending yourself and defending your way of life. And it is a way for you to hand over your goods. And no one knows how to exploit this more than Indians. Because Indians, Indians have no shame. They have no code of honor. For the most part, right? Obviously, there's a couple outliers. I'm not concerned with them. They're not the ones who are doing this. Okay? Huge majority of Indians love to exploit any system for their own advancement. This is why they are the scam capital of the world. This is why they're calling your grandma, taking her whole retirement, not caring what that means for her. And the government doesn't stop them because it's a huge part of their economy. So please stop with the stupidity. And I'm talking to you, white women. I'm going to get to you in a second because you are the mass retarded demographic that needs to understand what's going on. So what does this Indian say? He says, if I call white people racist, it gets me ahead in the office job. It started a few years ago when I noticed my company never hiring other Indians. Besides me, of course. I don't count, though. I want more. I want more Indians who are bad at code here. I called them racist to their faces, and the look of shame was shown through clearly. Stop being ashamed. Stop it. The future belongs to the white man who is shameless, okay? Shameless in the face of being called a racist because it is simply a tool to beat you over the head with. I asked them why they don't hire more Indians, even directly from India, because they don't speak English. They had no response, but I was placed on the hiring board. Big mistake. Big mistake. This company, if it's not already 100% Indian, is on its way. So what does he say? He got promoted, and they hired more Indians at his company. Okay? So they're Indians. Call white people racist and help other Indians get hired. You have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose, of course, except destroying the company that was built for you to exploit. And then afterward, you will cry, why is everything broken? The white man didn't give it to us. I don't know what accent I'm doing. That's not my strength. That's not my forte. Okay? So don't come at me. I've already had to hear from you guys about my virtual background sucks. So now you get to look at a plain wall and a fake tree. I hope you're happy. Okay? I hope you're happy. Obviously, that wasn't my real log cabin. I don't have that much money. And what is it that the white liberals care about? The food. What will happen without our poor migrants is the food. I mean, look at this. Look at this. To me, this is the equivalent.
Then you can add salsa verde to your life. But visiting London's newest authentic taqueria. This place is called CDMX Tacos and it can be found in Soho. The head chef's been flown in from Mexico City, so you're not going to get much more authentic than this. The process starts with a hand-pressed corn tortilla. This is the asada. You can order a taco or a quesadilla. Quesadilla basically means with cheese. Then you can add salsa verde to your liking at the front of the restaurant. The beef was nothing short of amazing, and the fact that they hand-pressed those tortillas makes such a difference.
That's absolutely outrageous.
You're outrageous.
You cannot visit and not get the El Pastor, which is marinated pork served off a spit, then topped with salsa verde, and hit with white onions, coriander or cilantro, and pineapple. Oh, baby. Sample different member of the public, and just look at his face. That is pure heaven right there. It's what I like to describe as a mouth wobbler. Or my lips are starting to tingle after the first one. I can feel the spice.
What a fat piece of shit, huh? His whole country, his city is, native Britons aren't even the majority real estate owners of London anymore. And this fat piece of shit is dipping a piece of pork into some avocado dip, stuffing his fat fucking face, talking about, the flavors. We flew in this Mexican. Do you think he came alone? Do you think those chefs came alone? Do you think, did they come alone? No, they brought their whole families. And guess what's going to happen? The second generation, the next generation that's born there is going to grow up and talk about how this was our land. That's always what happens. And they're all going to be trans, gay, and entitled. That's what happens to the second generation of third world migrant children. I don't know why. Okay? But this fat piece of shit is stuffing his mouth, which I gotta say, these look like better tacos than I normally see, I gotta say. But you're trading your whole country for tacos, you dumb bitch! Look at his soft features. Look at his soft, feminine features here. Just like a soft, look at him. He's just soft, that life of gluttony. He has not grown past, look at, you see the faces that they make? These are the same faces you'll see of the Disney adults. I'm gonna show you guys those in just a second. They all kind of make the same faces. They haven't grown past the oral fixation stage of child development, okay? And you're a kid, you get very few pleasures. One of them is food. That's one of your first pleasures as a child. Food and pooping, by the way. It is what it is. I don't know why it gives kids pleasure, but it does. But he has not gotten past that. Everything is still here. Oral fixation. Somebody stunted. Now, when we go and we look at these Disney adults, which, here we go. Check out these Disney adults, right? Is there something about being a fat ginger that makes you into one of these people? I don't know, man. But these Disney adults, they all display the same expressions at Disney World, okay? They're always eating the super sweet funnel cake and whatever, and they're like, and they're stuck in a stunted phase of their development. That's what's going on, okay? All right, fatties, there's no excuse for this. Ozempic is there, and it is widely available to you guys. You don't need to be doing this bullshit. I know there's controversy. I'm all for fatties taking Ozempic, okay? It is way better than whatever this is. And listen, once they stop being fat, they're also going to stop being liberals most of the time. They're going to realize, oh, I didn't like minorities, just nobody else would fuck me. White women need to shut the fuck up, okay? You're retarded. You are the reason women shouldn't vote, okay? Because you literally vote for policies that lead to your own destruction and you don't realize it. You're too stupid to realize that abortion is the exact opposite to the nature of a woman. And you're going to regret it, and you're going to be crying about the children that you flushed down the toilet rather than raise and create meaning to your life and then wonder why no one wants to fuck you when you're over 35.
You know what's so funny? Everyone who felt comfy enough to out themselves that they voted for Trump back in January.
Sorry. I'm not going to listen to someone who can't even speak properly and comfy enough. And also, I guarantee you, you don't live in a neighborhood full of Mexicans. In fact, you probably pay a lot of money to not live around Mexicans. But from your nice ivory tower, you can talk about how we should be kind to everyone. Cool story. I'd like to see you walk around those Mexican neighborhoods at like 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock at night, probably during the day, and not get...
January, they're dead silent right now.
No, actually, we're not dead silent. Actually, we're like, yeah, this is what we voted for. In fact, more. You're not doing enough. You said the Marines were there. I don't see anybody being shot.
Apprehending them and taking them away from their families and their jobs and the lives they've built here doesn't bother you, then you're a bad person. And I don't...
Oh my God, I'm a bad person? Oh my God. I guess I'm evil.
I want to be your friend. And I don't care about your opinion.
I say this in the most disrespectful way possible as a first-generation American whose parent is not from this country.
Okay, you're Italian? You're fucking Italian. Nobody cares about Italians. They let you into the white club a few years ago when the stock was down. Take the W, shut the fuck up, and join the right team, or you're going to Mexico with the rest of them, because at the end of the day, we're just going to be like, you're Latin, get the fuck out.
If you got here and you got papers and you agree with what's going on right now, fuck you.
If you are a resident of Los Angeles, California, and you have...
I love this physiognomy of a face that looks like it's been mostly flattened by an iron, and then they want to speak down to you about things that they don't actually suffer the consequences from. You know what I would like for these ladies? I would like for these ladies to show us their homes and show us their neighborhoods. And if there's any Mexicans or Indians living with you and you still feel this way, I'm still not going to listen to you because you're fucking retarded.
A large platform on this app on the internet, and you have decided, you have made the conscious choice to not speak out against the ICE raids that are taking place in this city right now, the attack that Los Angeles is feeling in this moment, if you are not sticking your head out for your own community, the city of Los Angeles in which you live, that you benefit so much from, if you can't do that, you do not deserve your platform. And maybe you should fucking move.
Oh.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but being undocumented isn't a crime. You're just racist. See you in hell.
You calling me racist doesn't do anything, because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck anymore. We're so tired of every time we want just to have a normal community where we're not being overrun by illegals who use all the services and don't respect anything.
I think it's important to remember that though what Trump is doing in LA is absolutely deranged and incredibly fucked up, it is an act of desperation. The people behind all this, though it may seem very calculated, are not smart.
California does not really belong to the United States.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Notice the beta male archetype that joins the women. This guy gets zero pussy. Those women, despite being absolutely bonkers crazy, are way more physically attractive than he'll ever be. And the only way he can hope to gain access is to simp. The truth is, they're all getting ran through by a bunch of Trump supporters because they want real men, even if they hate themselves and can't admit it. Okay, so we're done with this video. I'm so glad they're talking about, oh, it's such peaceful. Look at this. Of course, I mean, she might be kind of poor. Who knows? The peaceful protest, they're just protesting. Oh, really? Oh, okay. I guess part of fighting for your right to stay here is to go ahead and loot the stores downtown that you live in. Awesome. What does Apple have to do with ICE? Apple is a fucking liberal, left-wing lunatic company that loves mass migration because it means cheap labor. That's why they produce everything they make in China. They get a bunch of little children making their phones. So why are they looting an Apple store? What does that have to do with it? Okay? And all these people that care so much about their community. First of all, that bitch was like, it's about your community. That's not our community. It's not our community. Okay? And let me tell you something. You can just go and look at how they treat their own amenities to know what I'm trying to tell you. Okay? I was a member of LA Fitness for a couple of years. Now, when I was in Austin, Texas, mostly white people attended the gym. So guess what? All the weights were in their correct place. The gym was clean. There wasn't an overwhelming number of people in the gym at any one given time, so you could get through a workout in a relatively short period of time. You didn't have to wait forever for a machine because there wasn't 17 Mexicans sitting around using them and not really using them. Now, I travel, and I was doing a show in Yonkers. I tried to go to the LA Fitness in Yonkers, which is predominantly Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. And let me tell you, the LA Fitness in Yonkers is unusable. Go check it out. There are missing weights. It doesn't matter when you go. The employees they're all Dominican and Puerto Rican and black too. And they don't do shit. I walked in, they're all on their desks, on their phones, they're not doing shit. What are they supposed to do? They're supposed to sweep through the floor, put the weights away, make sure that the floor looks presentable. They don't do that. Nope. So every time I would go there, there were missing dumbbells. The weights would be on the second floor when they belonged on the first floor. I would be the only one who'd be taking the weights off of the barbells and putting them in their rightful place. There was no order. It was complete mayhem. And there you have a picture of what will happen to this country. You'll go from the nice, white, clean gym where there's order, where you can get a good workout in, where you can expect that the other people will treat this equipment the way you do with respect because you're the one who has to use it, to mayhem and dissolution, just complete. I just gave up. I quit. And now I go to a private gym that nobody knows about that costs about $270 a month. And it's worth it because I have to see exactly 0 fat Mexicans. By the way, they're all fucking obese. And I don't know, they're all trying to do ass workouts. And I'm like, bitch, you're fucking fat. You need to get on the treadmill and lose about 100 pounds before you start trying to build an ass. Because the black people themselves have had enough with the Mexicans. And it's kind of funny, actually.
Now come back to my window, fucking wetback bitch. That's what the fuck you are. You wetback bitch. And I'll be glad when Trump get all you motherfuckers out of here. Now how about that?
I think she speaks for all of us. So black women on the right side of history, white women virtue signaling to their own extinction. Gotta love it. Gotta love it, you know? And people say to me, oh, Leonardo, I can't believe you really don't think women should vote. What about you? You're a woman. I would take one for the team. I know that a lot of women don't think the way I do because they have been brainwashed and psyoped. And us women, we are very brainwashable. I know because I used to be one of you. I know how you think. I know you're not thinking your own thoughts. I know you're waiting for the media or your friends or your TikTok to tell you what to think about a certain situation. And they play into, if you're a good person, you're like, well, I'm a good person. I'm kind and I'm caring. But you're only kind and caring for the foreigner, not for your own people that are getting shut out of housing, whose gyms are being overrun. You don't care about those because there's no social credit points in that. And women, we need the tribe's approval or we die. And now we don't have our own tribes, so we're looking for the approval of people who hate us. You need to wake up, stupid bitches. Wake up, because your children are going to wake up a hated minority in a country that was once their ancestors' land. And there's going to be nowhere to go, because it's not just America, it's everywhere white people are. What do you think that is? Strange coincidence. So I'll just leave us on this black woman who went to Ghana and realized the truth.
Back to America and deal with the racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit bribery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scams, the bullshit too expensive, the bullshit not having no snacks, the bullshit not having no food, the bullshit electricity, the bullshit hot water, the bullshit what's that shit called that be coming down?
Bullshit lizards.
The bullshit animals, the scorpions outside the house, it's big ass spiders, it's big ass lizards, colorful lizards you ain't never seen before, all in the fucking room with you, sleeping with you. All the bullshit people trying to scam you when you go outside thinking you rich, so they trying to get more money off of you. I'm really trying to wrap my head around this shit. I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy. Please comment down below, because for me, I'm ready to go. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be, and I'm going to go out to Africa and make shit happen. No, I don't want to. I want to take my businesses back to America. I want to open up shop back in America, open up my dentist office, and all the stuff that I was going to do out here in America.
I got to say, I don't think she's going to be opening up a dentist shop. I just got a feeling. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it was Africa that stopped her from opening a dentist shop. And the reason she would rather deal with the racism in America rather than whatever's going on in Africa is because there isn't any. That's the truth, right? Whatever thing you think about racism in America, it's usually inside your own head. Because if it was that bad, you wouldn't be able to think about opening a business here. If America was really racist, you as a black person wouldn't even think about opening a business because there'd be no way for you to do it. Right? So pretty funny. Pretty funny. Yeah, and then I like how she's like, hey, the bullshit people try to scam you because they think you're rich. Bitch, you're a white person now. Now you know what it's like to be white in America. Black people always trying to scam you because they think you're rich. Welcome. Now you know our struggle. Hope you like it.